What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Goldar. And so here we have the Lightning Collection Goldar posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Goldar does come with a couple pairs of hands. We do get a pair of grip hands for holding his sword. We do get a right style pose hand, and then we get a left fist. We also get his sword, which looks really nice. I love the paint on it. And then we also do get an effect that goes on his sword. Other than that, Goldar doesn't come with anything else, although if you want to include these little nubbins for his wings, you can, but it's part of his character, so I'm not going to count it as an accessory. They are removable in case you want to take them off. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to his details. And so here we have a closer look at Goldar. Now, there is absolutely nothing different sculpt-wise besides these little nubbins that separates this from the GameStop exclusive Goldar. This version does have the closed wings from Season 1, and then the GameStop one did come with the wings from Season 2. As you can see, he does have wings, which look really good. So, aesthetically, he is the exact same figure. There are different things about him. Sculpt-wise, 100% the same with the exception of these nubbins. Paint-wise, I think I like the paint and plastic that they used on this Goldar a little bit more. If I can bring in the GameStop Goldar, you can actually see under my lighting, this is actually a more saturated flat gold, where this was a more dull flat gold. Which, they both look good, but overall I think I prefer the brighter look for Goldar. Yeah, this one has the wings, but overall this one does have a much better color to him. And I really thought that they would be similar in color, but as you can see, there is quite a bit of difference in the plastic that they use for the most part. At least the legs, well, I guess the legs on this one also seem a little more saturated, but overall it's still a really nice sculpt. And something I do like that they did with this one is they added kind of like this bronze wash to them. There are some parts where it looks good, some where they could have added a little bit more. I think if they had actually gone in and actually given this figure a proper wash, I think that would bring out so much detail. Where this one had gold paint, I think I prefer the wash over the paint. Yeah, the wash does make it look a little bit better. I'm not going to get too much into detail because there is a more in-depth review for the Lightning Collection Goldar, and I'll leave a link right here in the corner. But yeah, overall, I still like the way this figure looks, and he's not as back heavy as the old Goldar. Although if you don't put his feet right, he will fall over. But yeah, he's not as back heavy. You can still take those off and have him lose all that back weight. But he's still a back heavy figure because of how his body is sculpted. So overall, this is still a really nice piece, and I'm really glad Hasbro gave us a Goldar in the main line, if in case you missed out on the GameStop exclusive version. Now, on mine you can see his helmet or crown, whatever you want to call it, is a little bit warped. Nothing a little hot water or a hairdryer won't fix, so it's not a big deal to me. Face always looks good, although I think a darker face would have looked nice, or even a black wash. So yeah, this Goldar is still a pretty impressive figure, and I love the sculpt work on him. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually compare him to other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have Goldar posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Goldar posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Goldar posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we have Goldar posed next to the Lightning Collection GameStop exclusive Goldar. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation. Now, Goldar here does have a ball joint at the head, but because of the way his hair is sculpted as well as his helmet, he really doesn't get too much up and down movement on that ball joint, but it does go up and down. As far as head tilt go, he gets very little. He does rotate left and right, although you want to move the hair out of the way so it doesn't catch on his little wing nubbins. So it does rotate left and right, in case you were wondering. There is a hinge right here which does let him look down a little bit more in terms of looking up. Let's see if I can get him to look up. That's about as good as he's gonna get. But there is a hinge right there that does let him look up. We do have a butterfly joint which goes back and forward, so he can bring his arm only to about that far and bring it back about that far. His arm would do a full 360, but it is hindered by the shoulder pad, so do be aware of that. It does go out to the side to about almost horizontal, again hindered by the shoulder pad. We have a bicep swivel, double bend at the elbow, only getting 90 degrees because of how much armor and his gauntlet does get in the way, so do be aware of that. We do have a swivel and hinge at the wrist, and that works no problem. We do have a ball joint right here in the torso, so that works really good. He goes back about that far, leans forward quite a bit on that ball joint, and we also do have a ratcheting joint on him, so you can hear that clicking. We have a reverse ab crunch, which lets him lean back about that far. He crunches forward about that far, so that's really good. Legs do kick forward to about there. There's a little fluff on him. Goes back, doesn't really go back, goes out to the side. Could be better. Swivel at the thigh. He does have a double bend at the knee, only going up a little past 90. He does rotate at the foot. Have a hinge in the ankle, as well as forward-facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, aesthetically, he's a pleasing figure. He is limited in articulation by design, and that is a little bit unfortunate, but his design more than makes up for the limited range in articulation. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts. And so here we have Goldar posed for my final thoughts, and overall, I really like the way this figure looks. I really did appreciate this amount of effort that went into this figure the first time around. I was disappointed in the fact that he's not a real gold. They use this really flat yellow gold for his plastic. Nothing a little customizing won't fix, but I feel like Hasbro again missed the mark on this Goldar, seeing as how he's still that kind of flat plasticky gold instead of actual gold painted. I know he's a little more on the bronze side in the actual thing, but having an actual Goldar would be really nice. As far as the way he looks, just like the GameStop exclusive Goldar, I think they nailed the look of this figure perfectly. And the fact we do have a Season 1 Goldar where his wings are actually folded in, I really like that little detail because I did feel like the wings made him a little bit back heavy on the original release. So really glad that Hasbro did change it up on this figure just to give us a little bit of a difference. His sword is also different because it does have a little bit of paint, but the sculpt is a little bit cleaner, and he actually has a longer sword in this version, so do keep that in mind when looking for this figure. If you are looking for a Goldar, I did pick mine up from Walmart. Or actually, I picked mine up from Amazon. I did find this series at Walmart, but I passed on all of them because I tried to cancel my order at Amazon. Goldar shipped, everything else was canceled, so I did have to pick up Goldar from Amazon. So if you are going to pick this figure up, he will run you $19, so about $21 after tax, which is pretty fair for a 6-inch figure. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Lightning Collection videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.